So comfortable standing position. One hand comes to your heart, one hand comes to your belly, and we close down through your eyes. Start by taking deep breaths in through your nose. And really big exhales out through your mouth. Feel your shoulders roll further down your back. As we find our breath in standing, just feel how you are on your feet. Are you maybe shifting slightly from side to side? Is your weight more on one foot or more forward and back? And don't be afraid to just have a bit of a rock forward, backwards, side and side, just to help to find your center this Monday morning. We've got 2 more breaths like this, challenging yourself to breathe deeper and wider, feeling that lift into both of your hands on the inhale. And on the exhale, you melt all the way down. Final breath like this, deep breath in through your nose. Exhale out through your mouth. Gently start blinking, open your eyes. Circle your arms out, around and up. If you're not at the back of your mat, just walk to the back of your mat. You reach those arms up, you float all the way up and over. Feel that stretch and opening into that side body. Probably feels good in the morning. Bit of a stretch. We reach up, we reach over towards the opposite side. Come back to center, deep breath in, looking up those hands. Exhale, opens those hands out, around and down. When those hands hit those knees, we slowly start rocking down, upper back, middle back, and eventually your lower back. We're finding that forward fold, thinking really heavy into those feet. Generous bend through those knees and really knocking your head, letting it go. Your hands find the floor in front of you. And slowly we're going to start walking your hands out to the front edge of the mat. And we're going to find our first plank of today. We're pushing down through those hands, filling space into your shoulders. Heels glide all the way back behind you. And just start to feel that energy through your body. Final deep breath in here. On that exhale, push through those hands. Lift those hips up and back. And find your first downward dog. Really pushing those hands away, and we just start to pedal out those feet. So today the class is going to be about coordination with a little bit of balance, so we can just see how we are. I'll build up in layers as always. Pause when both of those heels are deep on the mat. Can you push those heels further, drawing yourself all the way back? Then slowly your eye gaze comes towards your hands, and we knock your knees all the way down onto that mat. Okay, we're going to find that 4-point kneeling position. Think hands underneath those shoulders, knees are underneath those hips. We're starting with our bird dog. Your right fingertips are going to reach forward towards the top edge of the mat, and those left toes are going to reach back towards the back edge of the mat. As we do this, we're being aware we're not rocking too much from side to side. Eye gaze is forward. We slowly start lifting that arm, lifting that leg, and we slowly tap it all the way down. Okay, we're really pushing up through that left hand, filling space into the shoulder blades. If you've got a sore wrist, you can definitely do this either on your fist or on your elbow. If this feels too much on that back knee, you can of course fold over that mat or place something under your knee for support. Okay, so I said it's about coordination today. We're working in that diagonal line of the body. I want everything to stay still. You're pointing through those toes. Those arms are reaching long. The next time you reach that arm and leg long, hold there. Can you reach your hand and leg away from the center line? So hand to the right, leg to the left. Come back to center and then tap down. It's one lift, one reach out to the sides. Come back to center and then tap. You really have to be aware of what your ribs are doing. We're not dumping, we're not overarching. We're trying to keep that center line. Let's go for 3 more. Hopefully we're starting to feel that core turn on. We're feeling it through our hamstrings from pointing to our toes. And we're feeling a bit of opening and space into our shoulder. Final one, we reach up. We reach out. We come back to center and we hold. Can we do small pulses with your hand and your leg? In 4, you hold. 3, 2, 1, freeze there in space. Place your right hand down on the mat and hold. So both hands are down, left leg still lifted. We're going to find some push-ups. We start bending your elbows in towards your body, nose comes down to the mat, and then you reach away. So this movement is going to be purely about the triceps if we can. You're keeping your elbows in and tight to your ribs. And you're going to start to feel that back leg floating all the way up behind you. Give me 4 more. I know this is mean on a Monday morning. This is a real full body movement. My left leg is shaking, my arms are shaking. 2 more. Final 1, give me a real push up, come down, you come up and you freeze. We bend that left knee into the chest and you're going to place that left foot forward in between those hands. Think low lunge position, knees over the ankle, you might just have to have a bit of a wiggle. Your right hand comes down onto the floor, next that foot, and you're going to reach that left hand all the way up towards the ceiling. Think opening through that chest, opening through your body. Slowly that left hand comes down to the top knee. Right hand stacks on top and you glide yourself up to that lunge position. We're going to think extension and flex and reach those hands forward. Can we start opening through that chest, think opening through that heart? And then we slowly start rounding through that spine, looking towards your knee. So really think opening with finding that movement into that spine. And then closing it all the way down. So this should feel really nice after all that 4-point kneeling. We're finding a little bit of balance, a bit of coordination in that front leg. Let's go for 2 more. 1 more. Reach both of those hands down. Your hands come down and they frame that front foot. Can you lift up onto those back toes? And we're slowly going to glide that left foot all the way back and find our plank position. Okay, hold there. Really push that ground all the way away. Option to come down onto your knees or your elbows if you need. If we can, we start rocking forward onto your toes. And we rock back onto those heels. It's really slow and controlled. A massage might be too big a term, but we're finding space into the calves, into the back of those legs. Find a stable position. Okay, we're going to finish with our mountain climbers. Right knee comes to your chest. You reach back. Left knee to chest. You reach back. Your eye gaze is staying really nice and forward. We're keeping pushing down through those hands. Give me 4 more, then we've got child's pose. 3, 2. After the next one, find that plank. Slowly drop those knees. Knees come as wide as those mats. And your arms reach really long. Melt your forehead down towards that mat. Really think pushing your bum back onto your heels. Your arms are reaching forward towards that top edge of the mat. Can we bring your right hand on top of your left hand and really just trying to see your bum over to that right hand side, finding length into that side body. Come back to center and we go over to the opposite side. Right hand down, left hand on top, and think sink your bum over towards that left hand side. Okay, slowly glide yourselves all the way up. Have a quick sit on your heels and just have a quick roll out of those hands. Okay, I know I've got straight into it today. We're going to go on to that other side. So think 4-point kneeling position. We're thinking that bird dog once more. Your right leg is now going to be back and your left fingertips are going to be forwards. Hold here. On that exhale, can you lift your hand, lift your leg? And then slowly glide everything back. I'm just bringing that camera down slightly. So we're lifting opposite arm, opposite leg. We're really pushing down through that right, stabilizing hand. And see how we feel on this opposite side. I often find it slightly easier when I'm pushing down through that right hand side. We're thinking lifting up through those ribs. The next time you reach everything up to that center point, hold there. Really keep pushing that ground away, point through that right toe. Can we reach your hand and your leg away from the center line? And then come back to center. If you feel your hips swaying, that's your cue that you've maybe gone a little bit too far and just reduce that range, okay? We're just working within your range this morning. Some people will definitely be going wide than me because I'm not very flexible, but we're opening up through those hip flexors as well as through those shoulders. Give me 3 more, then we're going to meet in center. 2. Final 1, coming back to that center point, arm long, leg long. We're going to find those pulses. You lift up and we lift down. We're trying to only go down towards that line of your body when your toe and your hand are in line with those bodies. Give me 3 more. 2, 1, hold there. Your left hand now comes down onto the ground. Push that mat all the way away. Right toes are pointed. We're finding those push-ups. We bend those elbows. Think hitting that nose towards the mat. And then you push away. So if we can, your elbows stay in towards your ribs. You can, of course, go wide, but it's just not going to be quite as hard on those arms. Keeping that line, your toes really reaching all the way back behind me. Or you're going to give 3 more. Can you drop slightly bit deeper for 2? Final 1, hold there. We bend through that right leg, step that right foot all the way forward. Maybe have a little bit of a wiggle. Left hand finds the mat. It frames that foot and your right hand's going to reach all the way up towards the ceiling. Think energy through that hand, looking up towards that hand. Your hand now comes down onto that knee. Other knee comes down onto the knee and your eye gaze is forward. We're going to find that opening through your chest. Arms reach really nice and long. We start opening up through that chest. Eye gaze is going to lift slightly further forward. And we slowly start rounding through that spine. So we open through that chest, open through that spine, and then slowly round it all the way in. So this is really nice to just find space in through that back and center of the body, especially if we're about to be sat at a desk all week. Let's go for 2 more. Maybe really think opening to that chest slightly more. And then closing. Final 1. This time interlace your hands all the way behind your back. And maybe you can just bring that right knee back and sit on a low kneeling position. Eye gazes forward, reaching those hands all the way back behind you. Circle those hands all the way forward. Draw them all the way in front of that chest. And then we reach all the way up. And circle out, around, and down. Okay, you stay facing me, I'm going to turn to face you. If we can, we're going to come into a high kneeling position. We're coming into your arms. Your elbows are going to be in towards your ribs. Your palms are going to be up towards the ceiling. So think we're working in a restaurant, we've got 2 trays of drinks on your hand. We're going to start reaching those hands out to the sides. And then we draw them back in. Think squeezing elbows towards your ribs. We reach those hands long. And then we glide all the way back. Think exhale as you go out. Inhale as you go in. Once again, we've got energy all the way from your fingertips. As you go out, we start to flip your palms. Palms come down. Palms come up. We glide in. So we're adding a bit of movement in through those hands, in through those arms. By adding that rotation, we're coming into those triceps as well. Really squeezing those elbows in. Okay. So the thing about these arms is we just have to be here real time to hopefully start burning them out. Maybe you're starting to see and feel it already. The next time you hold out, hold there. Can we do a halfway pulse? You bend in halfway, you reach out, and you glide all the way in. So you glide out halfway, we go out, and then we come all the way in. So all the way out, palms down, halfway, palms up, push out, palms down, and all the way, palms up, okay? If the palm thing is too much, that's fine. We're mainly just trying to get one pulse and one reach out. Okay, I can start to feel this. I hope you can too. You're going to stay with me for 3. Keeps maybe adding a slight squeeze into those glutes. We're not rocking from side to side. Final 1. We flip, we find that pulse, you reach out and you pause, freeze here. Okay, I want you to think 1 palm up, 1 palm down, arms stay long, and we switch. And we switch. Okay, you should hopefully be feeling these in your arms as much as me. Really keep long. We're going to go for 5, 4, 3, maybe smile, 2, 1, sit all the way back on towards your knees and have a good old shake out through those arms. Okay, that gets me every time. While we're here, we're going to do a quick thigh kind of finisher, and then we're going to go all the way back onto our back. So staying in that high kneeling position, stay facing me. I'm just going to turn to the side again. Your arms will be long, think holding that beach ball, your palms are facing together. Staying really nice until we slowly start tilting back. It's like we're hinging and you hold there. Okay, find those quads turn on. They're supporting you and resisting you against gravity. And then you reach all the way up. We're going to come straight into that bow and arrow. You come down, elbow reaches the side. You're looking towards that elbow. And then you reach forward. We're making sure we're not dumping into that back, dumping into that side. I want you to keep as nice a straight line as you can. The further back you lean, the more your thighs are going to turn on, which I'm sure you can feel. So once again, you're in control of your own range, okay? So the further back you go, the harder this is going to be. The smaller the range, the slightly lighter this is going to be. We're thinking balance, we're thinking coordination, resisting gravity. Let's go for 4 more. Can you lean further for 3? In 2, we're going to hold down. Final 1, arms come long, you reach back and you hold there. Okay, all we do is hold. Your fingertips are long, can you hinge further back? We're here for 5, shoulders roll down. 4, 3, 2, sink deeper. 1, glide yourself up. Okay, that always me. Spring down into a low kneeling position. And we're going to cross those feet, and those feet are going to come all the way in front of us, okay? We're going to sit really high on those sit bones. I have to kind of move my glutes out of the way to get that stable position. Your hands are going to come down onto your shins, and we're just going to kind of find that opposite movement in a bit of a roll down. So your nose is going to come towards your belly button. You slowly round that spine, pulling through those shins, and then you kind of arch that spine, eye gazes forward. So what we're doing here is we're doing a slight pelvic tilt. We're finding a bit of extension and flexion to that spine, and we're starting to turn on through your abs, which is coming up next. Okay. The next time you sit up, reach those arms long, and we're just going to roll ourselves all the way down the mat. So like we just did with that tilt, we then keep rolling all the way down, upper back, middle back, lower back, arms reach long, hands come straight back behind your head. Okay, feet come down onto the mat, they're hip distance apart. And then one by one, we're going to lift your legs up into tabletop position. Okay, you can start with those knees together. Your elbows are nice and wide, your head is really supported by those hands. We come into our ab set. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, we're going to lift all the way up. And then slowly melt all the way down. As you come up, your eye gaze is towards those knees. and then you lower. It's slow, it's controlled. It's maybe a bit shaky because we've done a lot of abs today. We're trying to reach slightly higher every time. And that exhale will really help you to come up and the inhale to come down. The next time we come up and we hold, can we point those right toes, reach those right toes and leg all the way long? Bend that leg in as you lower the head and we go to the opposite side. So you find that chest lift, you find that single leg extension, and then you release everything all the way down. So by adding that leg extension, it means that we're trying to challenge our abs a bit more if they have to zip everything together. You can definitely leave that leg extension out, and you can bring your feet down on the floor if you need. If you can, you stay with me in those leg kicks. The further you kick those legs, the harder this is going to be, okay? So the lower I mean. So the lower you kick those legs, the more it's going to come into those abs. Lower abs really have to zip together to work. We've got 4 more and we're going to meet at that top point. 3, really reach high. 2, the next time you come up, hold there. Can we just do those leg extensions? One leg reaches forward, then the other leg reaches forward. Can you see that I'm bringing one leg out, both legs come to tap, and then we go out. So we're making this slow and controlled. The slower, the harder, and really think lowering that leg down, zipping it all the way up. Okay, maybe you can see my shakes. I feel starting to feel this. I definitely am. Okay, we're going to finish with our bicycles on that next one. As you reach one leg long, the opposite elbow comes towards the knee. Come back to center, and we go over to the opposite side. I want us to do what we did before. I want you to slow this down. We find that center point. And it's not necessarily about yanking that elbow to the knee. It's more an up and over reach of that armpit. We've got 6. We come into those obliques, so those side abs. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees to chest, hug your knees in and give yourself a really nice rock from side to side. Okay, we're going to find a bit of the stretch of that out. I promise we're nearly done. We're all doing so well. Okay, feet come down onto that mat, and we're going to find our shoulder bridge position. Bring those fingertips long, and you're going to tap the back of those ankles to make sure you can feel them. That will mean you're in the right position. Okay, arms start down on the mat. We start by drawing that lower back into the mat, and slowly we start rippling up to bridge the lower back, middle back, upper back, hold there. Okay, we're thinking hips and knees in one line. You're really drawing those feet to the ground and think knees are being pulled all the way forward. Then slowly we start rocking down, upper back, middle back, and then lower back. Keep doing this. We're finding that bridge all the way up, finding our articulation. And then slowly rolling all the way down. Okay, the next time that bum is on the mat, hold there. Can we bring those arms into it? We lift those arms up as we lift those hips up. Those arms keep tracking all the way back behind us. Keep those arms where we are, or where they are, as you slowly melt your upper back, middle back, eventually that lower back down, arms come down. Okay, that's really nice off those abs, isn't it? So we lift those arms, lift those hips. You reach all the way back, and you slowly ripple down. Think bra strap, middle back, lower back, reach all the way down. Sorry if we've got any men on here, but I don't think we do. Reach all the way up, reach all the way back, and make this the slowest roll down yet. Upper back, middle back, lower back, arms come down and pause there. Okay, arms now stay flat onto the ground. This is our final challenge. We slowly roll yourself up into that bridge and we hold there. Okay, can we shift your weight slightly over to that left foot, and we're going to hover that right leg up. We're finding our marching, you drop your right foot down, make sure your weight shifts, and then you lift that left leg. Okay, challenge here is to keep those hips steady. You can always put your hands kind of on your belly or onto your hips, just to check what they're doing. We're lifting one leg at a time into our shoulder bridge, and that means that the standing leg, so the leg that's on the floor, is really starting to work to stabilize us. Okay, final two. The next time that right leg is lifted up, hold there, freeze. Okay, make sure your hips are even. Can you start straightening through that right leg? Sweep that right leg up, and then we slowly sweep it down. Then point your toes to sweep up, flex to come down. Okay, if this single leg is too much, we can definitely go back to that double leg variation. Okay, pointing those toes to lift, keep those hips high, flex those feet to come down. You've got 3 more like this. We're going to meet with that leg up. 2. Final 1, meet with that leg up. Can we finish with pulses, dropping those hips and lifting? Think you're pressing a button on the ceiling with that right foot for 3, 2, 1. Slowly bend that leg, slowly drop that foot down and have a quick roll down. Okay, we're going to go and finish off on the opposite side. Roll your hips all the way up. Make sure we're in that stable shoulder bridge position. Weight is over to the right, left leg reaches up, left leg reaches towards the ceiling. You flex that foot to sweep down. You point that leg to sweep up. I said it was about balance and coordination. Hopefully you felt a bit challenged today. This is honestly it, and then we're going to stretch it out. In 3, we're going to hold those pulses. Really keep pushing down through that right foot. We're feeling our hamstring on that left leg. The next time that left leg towards the ceiling, hold there. Can we finish with those pulses? Hips drop, toe lift. You're trying to press something on the ceiling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Really nice. Knee bends, foot finds the floor. Ripple yourselves all the way down and hug your knees in towards your chest. Okay, that was definitely a challenging class. Well done. Your left foot finds the floor, your left leg glides all the way long. Hands interlace behind your right knee and reach that right leg up to the ceiling. Point and flex through that foot, finding length all the way in through the back of that right leg. We're starting to slow down that nervous system. Bend that right knee into your chest. Your left hand finds that knee. Your left hand folds it all the way over towards the opposite side. Right hand reaches out and look towards that right hand. Find that spine twist, knee in one direction, head and arm in the other direction. Slowly come back to center, both knees come into your chest. Right foot finds the floor, right leg goes long. Right hand comes to that left knee, and you're going to fold it all the way across your body. Left hand opens out, and just think head and eye gaze in one direction, knee in that opposite direction. Slowly come back to center. Hug both knees in towards your chest, and give yourself a little bit of a rock from side to side. Okay, we're going to roll ourselves up to that seated position. Hands come behind your knees. And we're just going to start doing a few kind of roll like a ball, rolling forward and backwards. Maybe finishing, finding a bit of energy. Roll yourself all the way up to a seated position and turn to face me. Any seated position that you feel comfortable in. We slowly start circling those hands out, around, and up. Interlace those hands all the way up at that top point. You reach up, you reach over to that opposite side. We started here. See how those side bodies feel now compared to the start. As we finish our class, you reach up, we reach over to that opposite side. Coming back to center, really deep breath in through your nose, looking up towards those hands. Exhale, opens your hands out, around, and then down, shoulders roll back, shoulders roll forwards. Give yourselves a massive smile.